say thank you to Ben Self, who's somewhere in here, I don't know where he is, but he's the head of the Kentucky Democratic Party. Pamela Goodwine is also running for Court of Appeals. I know she's here tonight. But I'm just thrilled that all of you would come out on a, I guess it's Tuesday, Tuesday night when you could be doing lots of other things to support this candidacy and really be here in support of what we need to do in 21 days for our country. And so I thank you for being here. I'm going to tell you what I feel is at stake here in 2016. I'm sorry. Here in 2018, and what you can do to help, all right, in the next 21 days. So what's at stake? You know, I think it's three things we boil it down to. The first one is issues. The issues that we care about, the issues that are so important to our country. The issues matter, and we need to have elected officials, people actually want to work on some of these issues, like healthcare, which is the #1 issue when I talk to people in the district. You know, we're America. We're Americans. We can fix this. We can make it better. We just have to elect people who don't want to make it worse, but want to make it better and work for the good of the people and not for the good of their special interests, not work for a political win for their party, but want to work for the people and make this better. And that's what I want to do in a reasonable way. Number two, have an economy, have people that work for an economy that works for everyone. Not just the 1% or the 4%. And you know, what I hear a lot from the right and from my opponent is, hey, our economy's booming. Well, great, it's awesome. It's been booming at the same rate for the last 7 years, by the way. And the thing about it is, the problem is that most of the benefits of that cool booming economy are going to the 1%, actually the 0.1%. And so we need to build an economy that everybody can grow with. And the problem that we're seeing is that wages aren't rising. Meanwhile, the price of healthcare is going up. The price of consumer goods is going up thanks to tariffs and other stuff. And the price of gas is going up. Everything's going up, and the average person is seeing less and less in terms of wages. So we need to work on that and have people that work on that. And that's why I came out with a 32-page economic plan, which is just reasonable, basic stuff. If you read it, it's just reasonable stuff we should have done yesterday. So no matter what the issues are, whether it's our environment, whether it's the opioid crisis, whether it is having securing our nation in terms of our national security, no matter what your issue is, that's always important, and it's important for every election, and this is no different. All right, so that's #1. Number two, we have to build momentum in Kentucky. We have to build it because, if you hadn't noticed, our state legislature is not doing so well right now. Our state senate and our governorship, okay? And we had some real governors standing behind me. But this election, this race, this sort of Amy McGrath for Congress here in the 6th district, isn't just about Amy McGrath for Congress. And it isn't about even flipping the House. That's very, very important, right? For all the reasons that you and I know are important. And I'll talk about that next. But it's also really important for Kentucky because we need to build momentum. We need to build momentum to show people that we can take back some of our state house and we can have momentum going into a governor race next year, which is really, really important for us. Why my campaign has invested very heavily in these field offices all around the district, 20 in all, 2 in Atlanta County, and 1 in every other county. The brick and mortar and also the people. So it's not just the actual office, it's the people that are there of running, understanding how to run campaigns, understanding what field and ground operations is all about. I mean, look, I'm a military officer. It isn't just about commercials for me. You got to get on the ground. You got to understand what it's like to run an operation. You got to do the hard work. And that's something that we need to have here in Kentucky, and that's why I opened up all those offices. And guess what, folks? They're not, those offices, a lot of them aren't going to close on November 7th. They're not. They're all there and build an operation that we can continue here. It's different from here in our state. So that's number 2. But the third reason of what's at stake here in 2018, okay? I got it. I can learn. Is really the reason that Amy's here. It's the reason that I'm on stage and not somebody else. And that reason is this election is about the soul of our country. It's true. It is about who we are. Okay? It is about who we are and who we want to be. What kind of country we want to have. What kind of country we can be proud of. What kind of country we want to give to our children? What kind of country do we want to give to the world? That is about what this election is. Are we going to accept leaders who constantly divide, who constantly lie about the other side? You know, I'm a proud Democrat, right? But my husband's a Republican. And you know what? It's okay. We get along most of the time. Because that's America. And we have got to get through this time in our history where we are like constantly labeling the other side as they're all bad and all their ideas are bad. Look, that's just not who we are. Let's elect people that not only say they want to work across the aisle, but do it. All right? And do it in good faith with people to move us in the right direction for our country. That's what this election is about. All right? I think Vice President Biden last week said it best. You know, when he said, you know, we know who Donald Trump is. The question in this election is, who are we? Who are we? And so, you know, when I look at this race and I look at the Republicans in office and I look at the incumbent here, I think to myself, you know, we need better leaders. We need people who are willing to put their country above their political party. And stand up, not for liberal values or conservative values, but freaking American values. That's who we are. So that's why I'm in it. I think that's what's at stake. You know, this election in 2018, this is our first chance as Kentuckians, as Americans. This is our first response to what happened in 2016. Okay? And to what's been happening to our country since. You know, we can do social media, and I'm a big fan of social media. You get on Twitter and all that stuff, and you can write op-eds, and that's awesome. And you can march, and that's awesome too. But in our system, under the Constitution that I swore to defend and protect, what really changes our country and what's amazing about our country is elections. And that's what this is about. So that's why 2018 is so important. That is why I'm running, because we can do better in our country. We can have better leaders, and I'm willing to step up and make sure it happens. All right? I need your help, okay? And the good news is that there's nothing I've ever done in my life by myself. Nothing. Even landing on the back of an aircraft carrier at night, I may have been the only one in the cockpit. I was not the only one that made that happen. There were lots of people helping. And I need your help. Your country needs your help right now. You don't win elections by just one person, or you don't win elections with just money. You win it with people on the ground. So I'm going to ask you tonight to be a part of this. We have 21 days left, 20 and a half. But who's counting? And for the next 20 and a half days, I'm going to need all of your support, and I'm going to give you a couple, 3 things that you can do. Because I'm a military officer, I'm a Marine, so I like to give you concrete things that you can accomplish and make sure you accomplish them. The first is take 5 people in your life, 5 people who you know, who live here in the 6th District, who you might think they might not vote. All right. In other words, a lot of people don't vote in the midterms. Okay, a lot of people just don't. And so think about colleagues, adult children, maybe parents, relatives, neighbors, and take 5 people in their life, and before you go to bed tonight, write those names down of who those people are, and make it your mission to make sure they vote. Drive them if they need to drive, ask them if they're going to vote, ask them if they, how they're going to get there, when they're going to vote. Have that political discussion that you normally have on Thanksgiving with your family that's really hard to have. Have it before Thanksgiving. All right? 5 people. It's not hard. You can do it. 5 people. Then I want you to take 5 stickers. Everybody's got a sticker on tonight. They're really cool. Take 5 of them before you leave. And over the next 20 days, every couple days, slap a sticker on, go to Kroger. You don't have to say anything. If you have a job that you can have a sticker on, wear it to work. Wear it around town. Go to YMCA. It matters. I mean, you go to Kroger, slap a sticker on, it works for me. People are like, oh. But it matters because it's about momentum. And if regular people, average people see that it's not just political people with bumper stickers. It's not just, people who you normally think are involved in politics. They're going to think, well, let me take a look at her website. I know what the attack ads say, but let me dig a little bit deeper. I'm telling you, it works. We've had people who canvass, who have come back and said, I just asked this woman, she said she was voting for Andy Barr because of the attack ads. That's all she knew about Amy, where all these things he was saying about her. And she said to her, I only want you to do one thing. Just go on her website for 5 minutes and read what she says. She ran into that woman, this was in Winchester. She ran into that woman later on, about a week later, and the woman said to her, I'm changing my vote based on what I said. She took 2 minutes. And that matters. You wearing a sticker around town, it matters. All right? So do that. Take 5 tonight and go do that. And let me ask for just a show of hands here tonight. I want to raise your hand if this is your first political event, like and some of you have been to my campaign events before, but if this campaign or going to an event for my campaign is the first one you've ever done in your life. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's awesome. And that is the difference. And so what you're doing and how you talk about this campaign and what you do with your friends and family really matters. So that's number 2. The last thing, and I always forget this one, it's 5, no, I'm kidding. It's sign up, my staff will kill me if I forget this one. This is the sign up sheet for the really hard work, which is canvassing and calling people. And I'll tell you what, we need about 7,000 shifts to be manned in the next 20 days. And so I'm in the 5s tonight. So if you can take one of these, my staff, can you hold up where you're at? Everybody who's my staff, hold up where you're at. All right, you can see around in the back, they've got these sign-up sheets. Sign up for 5 shifts. 5 shifts in the next 20 days. A shift is like 2 or 3 hours long. If you can do that, and I know everybody's really busy, but I'll tell you what's going to win this thing right now, we've got enough funds to compete. And I appreciate everybody who has donated and contributed to this campaign. We got it covered. We're good. All right? Here's what we need. We need people to knock on doors. We need people, because studies show that is the single most important way, that's the best way to get people out to vote, is the best way to change people's minds. So if you could do that on a weekend or during the week at night, 5 times in the next 20 days, do it for Kentucky. Do it for this campaign, but do it for Kentucky and do it for your country. That's what we need right now. Okay? My field organizers for this area, Jenny, Duncan, and Scott, can you raise your hand? Where are you? All right. There's Duncan, Scott, and we're standing. Okay, yeah, you got to shout. There we go. So these are the folks who run the Lexington area, and they're the field organizers for this area. That's what we really need. I very much appreciate everybody's support. I'm not backing down. If you're in the military or know this phrase, my pack isn't dropping until 21 days. And then we'll just take up another pack. But it's good. We're going to work very hard to make this happen. I appreciate all your work. Trust me, folks, I am humbled every day by the support. I started this because it was the right thing for our country. I'm going to finish it. We're going to do this thing. Thank you, everybody.